Hello, this is Damien Glendinning from Complex Countries, and I'm very pleased to be joined today by Ed Barrie, who's an old friend of Complex Countries. He used to be a member when he was still a practicing treasurer. He has a lot of experience with Microsoft, Tableau software, Salesforce, and so on. So he's a practicing treasurer who has actually left and gone to set up a new treasury management system using all the new technology and bringing all of his professional experience. So Ed, very pleased to be with you today. Could you please take us through what Treasury4 does and how you've made it different?
Sure. Thank you, Damien. Really happy for the opportunity to chat with you today, and thanks for all the efforts you do in supporting the community through Complex Countries. Treasury4 is a cloud-based treasury management system built on a foundation of legal entity and financial account management. We have 3 different modules so far that we've released: our Entity 4, Cash 4, and Payments 4 modules, and our foundational module is Entity 4 for that comprehensive entity and financial account management.
So tell us more about this, because for me, clearly the basis for everything is entity and bank account information. And am I right in thinking that even if you don't go ahead with all the rest, you really have, if you install it, you already have a pretty good bank account management system?
Yeah, that's correct. We have several customers that use Entity 4 only, and we also have a lot of customers that use Entity 4, Cash 4, and Payments 4. Again, that foundation is entity management and financial account management. So Entity 4 is meant to be a collaborative system of record that brings everyone inside of the organization together who's an owner, contributor, or consumer of legal entity data and the adjacencies of counterparties, all types of financial accounts, and then document management and staff management. So your officers, directors, account signers, and then all the supporting documents that go around that. And so Entity 4 is not exclusively for treasury teams, but treasury, tax, corporate legal, controllership, FP&A, internal audit, all collaborating, all contributing data and documents into a central gold copy of that information that then each party can leverage for their own business needs. And on the Treasury side, it's really meant to help support KYC and client onboarding with banking partners. That you have all your legal documents, whether it's articles, bylaws, et cetera, to knowing all your account definitions and signatories and being able to share that with banking partners. And the challenge with go ahead, Damien.
So I'm going to say, basically this even helps with everybody's favorite topic, which is KYC.
Yeah, that's correct. Specifically addressing KYC so that you have all your data up to date. And the challenge with entity management in every organization is that there's no single owner of entity data. Treasury owns financial accounts, tax owns tax ID, corporate legal owns the legal documents and officers and directors. And so how do you bring all that data together when there is no central owner of that? And so that's our fundamental premise with Entity 4 and making it the foundation, because once you understand that and have that data documented, then it makes the implementation or use of cash management and payments management, all coming off of that data set, much easier to implement.
And I think we would agree also for cash management, it's important to know that you've got all your bank accounts and you know where they are.
Absolutely. I think fundamentally in cash management, you have to know all of your accounts and all the key attributes of them. And then in our system, one of the features that we have is we call it account to account relationships to allow you to document how and why does money move across your accounts in your organization, whether inside of an entity or across entities, and then be able to visualize that similar to an org chart, which Entity 4 also supports as an interactive organization chart.
So for me, one of the key things when you're looking at, as a practicing treasurer, if you've got a TMS installed and you are looking at changing, you've got the cost of ripping it out, you've got the cost of installing a new one. Here, you basically install the basis. I believe it's a module on a cloud-based application. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Treasury 4 is built on the Microsoft Azure cloud.
So there's no huge installation cost.
That's
and it's
correct.
Something that you can run side by side with your existing TMS. It's not as if you've got it's one or the other, because in addition, it's going to give you functionality that many TMSs do not have.
Especially, that's correct, and especially around the entity management and financial account management aspect of it. That's kind of unique in our approach and how we think about building out our solution set. But our fundamental premise with Treasury4 is we want users using Treasury4, not implementing Treasury4. And we really take a time to value approach and get customers up and running in weeks and days, not quarters and months. And so we really want customers using their system as quickly as possible, getting value from it, contributing data to it.
And not necessarily having to make a huge outlay to install it first time round.
That's correct. We simply, once a customer signs with us, we provide them their login credentials. Our customer success team starts working with them even before the contract is signed to get data ready to be input or uploaded or imported into the system. And that includes getting historical bank data into Cash4. We're in the age of AI, and the wonders that those technologies are bringing. Our view is that the more historical data that you have around your banking balance and transaction activity, then makes the use of AI and machine learning much more valuable and tangible for the organization. So getting that history is very important.
So the cost is actually going to be the human cost of uploading all the information and getting all of your bank account and entity data. But if we can move on.
Sure.
The next thing, once you've done that, of course, it's then relatively simple to bring in all of the cash transaction, all of the cash data, the transaction data, do account reconciliation and so on. And again, we're not talking about installing something that's very onerous. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We're API first. We connect with many banks via API, but also physical file. And then later this year, we'll have Swift as our third channel for banking connectivity for statement reporting and outbound payment processing. The fastest we've onboarded a bank for a customer is 1 business day via API, and that included pulling 2 years worth of daily account balance and transaction activity. And so that's something that we really put a focus on, is getting that historical data and getting those banking connections turned on as quickly as possible.
But then once you've got all of this in place, because you've got the Cash4, which basically provides your cash management, and you've got Payment4, you really now have a full TMS. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So we are a treasury management system with cash management, transaction categorization, reconciliation, and that cash management side includes all flavors of investments, whether it's money markets to fixed income securities. So we integrate with a number of money market portals and fixed income custody, as well as investment accounting providers. And then on the payment side, it's treasury payments via API with a number of banks.
And another thing that frustrates a lot of TMS users is the length of time it takes to implement new functionality or to get things changed. I believe, do you have a different approach there?
We do. We absolutely do. So we operate, and we have a tremendous development team here at our headquarters in Spokane, Washington, in the United States. We operate on a 3-week sprint cycle. And what that means is our team is developing new features, new functionality, and then we release that to production to our customers every 3 weeks. So we did our last production release last Thursday, got the new capabilities into the hands of our users who are now using that as of today. And so it's really important in in today's technology world to get new features and that capability into the hands of users and to iterate quickly. And not go back to the kind of once a year or twice a year big bang production releases, but really rapid iteration of capabilities.
Okay, well, that sounds very interesting. Certainly a different approach. And I think the bottom line is that this is something that people can test it and see. It's not as if you've got a huge implementation cost to go about. And I hope that makes it interesting to people. I hope people benefit from from having heard from you. And thank you very much. Appreciate your time, Ed.
Thank you, Damien.